What's good, guys? Ant here, aka Discreet. Hope you're all well and staying safe at home. I've been asked over the past few weeks if I could do some sort of online classes. Some of you may know I've been a dancer for sort of 20 plus years, specialise in a range of different hip hop styles and loads of different variations. We're going to start with some breaking tutorials and classes. I'm going to look over some choreo. We're going to cover different foundation, different levels as well. So we're going to have some beginner stuff in there, some intermediate and advanced. I understand that there are millions and millions of other dancers out there. This is just my twist on things. Some things I name differently to others, some things I do differently to other people. This is just how I've learned and how I've taught over those years. But more than anything, guys, stay active, get involved, and I hope you enjoy it. Peace. So for this video, we're going to look at some beginner, some intermediate and advanced freezes. Okay, so they're going to start very basic and we're going to work our way up. I'm going to explain a little bit about each one, how to do it and techniques you can use. I would advise, if you've never done any of this before, make sure you have a big open space. Whilst the weather's nice, get in your garden, somewhere like that. If you don't have that accessible, make sure you're clearing stuff out your way. I don't want you rolling into TVs, breaking glass tables or anything like that. Pillows come in handy, guys, or if your parents have got yoga mats, they're really good. Anything that just can take away the impact on head, shoulders, knees. Anything that can take away the impact when you're doing these, and if you're rolling in and out of them, and I'll explain how to get in and out of each one safely so we're not causing any damage or pain for you guys. I hope you enjoy it, and let's crack on. So, the first freeze we're going to look at is what we probably have all done at some point in our life, which is basically standing on our back. And the way we do this usually is we lay on our back, we take our hands underneath to the lower part of our back just to support us. We're rolling back onto our shoulders up here and basically aiming to get our legs up in the air. So we roll back, shoulders come underneath to support, hands go to the bottom of my back and my feet are up in the air. A lot of people tend to do this to stretch, okay? But there are different ways and different directions we can use this to create a freeze. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got that basic step, we've tried that. We're now going to try and enhance it, and this is what breaking is all about. It's taking these basic steps that you have seen or been taught at school or in gymnastics or other hobbies that you've been doing, and we tweak and change them and enhance them to create them and turn them into breaking freezes and moves. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do that same thing, but this time we're going to change the direction a little bit. So I'm going to pop up like so, okay? But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my legs and I'm going to place it on the floor. And the leg that I place on the floor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate, I'm going to put this hand here, I'm going to slide my head back so I can face the front. So I'm sort of more on my shoulder and my neck's a little bit angled. So I've taken my head from here to here. So leg goes on the floor, head angles the opposite direction. From here I'm going to bend this leg, and with my other hand that's free, I'm going to hold it. So what I've done there is created a basic freeze from a basic position which is on my back. So I'm going to show you this one more time. So you start facing the opposite way. We're going to do just what we did before. We're going to roll back, elbows on the floor, get our legs up in the air. I'm going to take one leg, which I'm going to use this one. I'm going to place it on the floor at an angle. I'm going to put this hand here, I'm going to slide my head out so I can face the front, this leg's going to bend, and I'm going to hold it with my other leg. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you another way of getting in and out of that. If at any point you feel like your neck's in a tough place, just relax your body, and what should happen is you should just roll out like you would do a normal sort of forward roll, okay? Just relax your top half of your body and everything else should roll out of it nicely, and you're not too high off the ground to create any friction or damage. I'm going to give you a different way of getting into it, okay? So in breaking, everything's about being fluid. It's about getting in and out of moves in a clean way, a way that looks stylish, and a way that looks really, really impressive to the audience. When we're doing freezes, we're aiming to hold our freezes for about 3 or 4 seconds, okay? Which I know doesn't sound like a long time, but when you've been practicing, it does become really quite long, okay? If you can hold it for more than that, Amazing. This is what we're going to do. This time, we're going to add a bum slide. If you don't know what a bum slide is where you bend your legs, you push your feet back, and you slide on your bum. Just like that, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add that move right before we go into our freeze. It should look like this. So all I'm doing in this position is I'm speeding up my steps. I'm using the momentum of the slide to roll over that shoulder, getting my arms in place, ready. My leg comes over, which stops my movement, and then I hold my other leg just to finish off the freeze. And there is your first beginner freeze, which is your back freeze holding your leg. So our next freeze, which is our intermediate freeze, is another freeze that you've done previously. A lot of people usually relate this freeze to gymnastics, but we're going to tweak and change it to make it more of a b-boy, b-girl freeze. So the next freeze is a headstand, okay? And a lot of people think this requires a lot of upper body strength, but ultimately it doesn't. It's about having your body parts in really good places that help counterbalance one another. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on our knees, okay? Just like this. Okay, once again, if you've got anything soft around you or a yoga mat, put some pillows around you just to help you in comfort, or if you want to use a pillow for your head just to start, that's fine. Okay, you're going to put your hands flat on the floor in front of you. And what they should be is, they should sort of be shoulder width apart, hands nice and flat, not like this on your fingers, nice and flat, shoulder width apart. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to put the top of our head on the floor. Okay, we're aiming for the top, right at the top where the flat part is, not on the forehead or behind or on any of the sides, just nice on the top. And the way we're going to place this is we're going to place it in front of our hands. Okay, so what we will create is, with our hands and heads, a nice triangle. Okay, and this is going to be our foundation for that balance. Once your hands are in place, I'm going to face this way so you can see, your head goes on the floor in front, not too far in front, just once again creating a nice little shape, probably say a couple of inches in front. From here, now what we're going to do is we're going to try and feel how stable we are on our head. The way we do that is we're going to put our feet on the floor and we're going to push up so we create a bit of a bridge and put pressure on our hands and our head. Once we've got that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our feet to walk our body in to give us a nice balance. And our aim is to keep our back up straight, in line with our head, and our hands in front, creating that nice triangle shape that we spoke about. So, hands on the floor, head on the floor, feet go up, and walk your feet in a little bit to create that shape, okay? Once you get into that position, you will feel pressure pushing on your head, your hands, and the bottom of your back, which is at the top of the headstand. And that pressure will push into it to make it feel like your legs want to come up. And this is what we're going to do. You have two steps. You can either bring your knees onto your elbows to create a nice balance where your feet are off the floor, but you're still not in a full headstand. But what this will do is, it will give you a feel of what a headstand feels like. The next step from there is to get my legs up in the air. And we're not going to try and go straight up with our legs straight because that becomes difficult. We're going to try and just get our knees off our elbows just a little bit higher, okay? So we're going to keep our legs bent on our elbows up to our knees, okay? The main point is that my hands are pushing into the floor, so is my head, and I'm trying to hold that shape as much as possible, okay? So that's a step-to-step headstand. If at any point when you are doing your headstand you feel like you need to come down to the floor, a lot of people tend to take their hands away and flop. This is a really bad idea because it can cause neck issues and you can hurt yourself, cause bruises on your shoulders as well. There's two ways that you can come down out of a headstand. The first way is with your feet, okay, which is basically lowering your feet back to the ground, bringing your head up, bringing your hands up, and even going onto your knees if it helps. The safest way to get out. If you feel that at any point you're going to go over behind you, the best thing to do, and what I want you to do in this situation, okay, is take your chin, put it on your chest. And what this will do, it will create an arch in your back, just like you would use to do a forward roll. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to go up onto our head, we're going to fall over, we're just going to create that arch to roll out of it. If you're really flexible, which I'm not, you could go over into a bridge, put your feet on the floor, and then lower yourself down. This is where we're going to tweak and change it. Once you've got that, okay, we're going to work at how we can use our legs to create different shapes. Once I've got my headstand, I can use my legs to create different shapes, okay? And one thing I tend to do to practice my headstand balance and to practice my shapes is spend about sort of 10-20 seconds in the air, moving my legs as much as possible, okay, creating different shapes, but then also feeling my hands as well. I get used to raising my hands a little bit, and this helps when you move on to the next step, which is using a headstand to connect to the freezes, adding spins or rotations, or enhancing it into getting up into the air. I hope that helps. That's your first step. The intermediate freeze that we're going to look at enhances that even more. And the way we do this is we're going to take one hand off, and we're going to use our elbow and our forearm to help us balance. Okay, so what we're going to do for this freeze is we're going to get up in the air, we're going to take our right foot out, our left foot behind us, then we're going to drop onto our elbow to create our freeze. So one more time, hands, head, triangle, get your feet up, create your balance. Once you've got your balance, work about different shapes with your legs, your intermediate freeze, get your legs out, use that forearm and the elbow for a freeze. Here we go, one more time. Advanced freeze. And the reason it's advanced because it involves doing a handstand. The best thing to do if you've never done a handstand before and you want to try and learn one is work around what I call the athlete step, okay? Which is where you start like a runner, your hands are flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. The aim with a handstand is to not bend your elbows, it's to keep them straight, keep them locked out and tense. Try and get your feet up in the air one after the other. And the way we do this is we kick our back leg up first, and it comes down, then we kick our other leg up at the same time, and that comes down after, okay? Remember to keep your arms locked, and keep that balance. So a little bit at a time, run a step, kick up, okay? Once you've got this, try and get as high as possible, one after the other. Once you've mastered that step, and you feel comfortable in doing it, what you're gonna try and do is you're gonna try and extend both your feet at the top, bring them together, and hold it for a split second. Once you have mastered the handstand, or you already have a handstand in your locker, we're going to work on different shapes, okay? The shape that we're going to look at today is what I call the cross shape, okay? And it's about counterbalancing your body to create a different angle in your handstand. You're going to aim to take one of your legs across the other. So the way the shape that we're looking at looks like this, okay? So I've got my right leg crossed over my left, okay? And I'm twisting it out. If you want to do it this side, it's left foot over right. The way I'm using the shape to enhance it is by twisting my hips. So not am I only creating the shape, but I'm also twisting my hips. Hopefully when I'm up, it will make more sense. It should look like this. Once we have that step, this is where the twist comes in. So my legs are crossed like this, up in the air, and I'm rotating my hips to get my back leg out to the side. So the position I'm aiming to get in is this. Ultimately, I am up in the air. So my left leg swings to the side, and I'm twisting my hips, rotating my right hip to the back, my left hip to the front. And what should happen is that leg shape will rotate to face my audience or whoever I'm wanting to aim that freeze at. Okay, so let's have a little try. Should look like this. So once we've got this, and we've twisted the hips, we've got the leg shape, and we've figured out how we can hold it and get our balance, we're now going to add and enhance it even more. The way to do this is by using my head to add that extra twist. Yeah guys, so the way I enhance my head is I'm turning it the opposite direction to my feet. So my legs and my hip, bottom part of my hip are going to the left, my torso and my head are going to the opposite direction to create that stretch, that twist and the distance to enhance that air handstand freeze. So it should look like this. I'm sure you've done this before. If you are on the advanced section, you should know how to be getting in and out of your handstands, okay? The easiest way for me is just swiveling out. Some people go over into crab. Sometimes you might not have that ability and you have to lower down and roll out of it just like you would do a headstand. But practice those as well because they do come really in handy. If that is very easy for you and you've got that already, how about trying our advanced section? Can you go from our intermediate headstand freeze up, pushing all the way up using our arms and our legs, all the way up into our handstand freeze, combining two freezes. Head freeze, handstand freeze. Should look like this. So that's it guys for our free sections today. We've had our beginner back freeze, we've had our intermediate headstand freeze and combinations, and we've had our advanced handstand freeze twist with our advanced connection between two freezes. I hope you enjoyed it guys. Send me some pictures of your freezes, send me videos in the Facebook or the page or whatever page you're watching it on guys. Stay safe, stay active, and until next time, it's a piece from me, Discreet. Stay safe, guys.